Well, hi everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your host ARNE CARLOS. And in case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm cutting the very last of our scented peas. We've had them all summer, and yeah, they're still blooming, but now we're taking them indoors. And today we thought we would do a tour of our garden in early fall. So Arne, come on.
Hello.
Let's show them the garden and see what's in bloom and tell everybody what happened this year.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Let's go to Rob. We started a new bed. It's under construction. And Rob is now going on a winter holiday. So he's drying up. We're going to remove all the bad stuff and put him indoors.
Yep. We're going to store him indoors for the winter.
He don't like to freeze in the winter. It's not good for him. But he's done his job for this summer.
And when we wired this place for the grass, we actually wired it wrong. So this place wasn't getting cut. And now we've put some soil there and some seeds. And hopefully next year we will have a lawn that extends over there.
Yeah.
And then we've got our field of flowers that we're going to be cutting very soon. So stay tuned for that. We're going to show you how we do it as well. We've been working on this field of flowers for a few years now, and finally we feel it started to develop.
And I think we didn't know how hard it is to make a field of flower.
No.
Making a flower bed is easy, but a field of flower, that is hard.
Yeah, we really wanted to have something looking gorgeous but simple, and simple is the hardest thing to achieve for sure.
Yeah.
And let's go up here on the porch, on the deck.
So this is one of the places we sit in summer. We're also using this in the fall because we have the fire pit.
Yeah, and then in the winter we will probably come here and shovel snow so that we can keep using it in winter. Last year we didn't have much snow, so it was possible to use it without shoveling anything. But yeah, we've got our little cozy corner here, and it's nice because we built this porch last year, and it's very interesting to sit here and look into the garden this way. It's a new perspective that we haven't had before.
And then we also have, if you want to stay in the shadow, we have shadow until around 12 o'clock maybe, or 11, 12. And then in the evening we have the sun longer than on the other side.
The sun sets
a little bit later.
A little bit later here. This, sorry.
Yeah, and for the fire pit we only use the birch wood because it's on a wooden platform, so we can't use like any other wood because it pops. So you have sparkles, or what you call it, coming all over, so it can burn. Sparks. So birch wood doesn't spark.
We've had a wonderful time here. I've been weeding all summer, making sure that our gravel is looking pristine. One of the things that has been doing really well this year is our Clematis. We have Clematis the Alp Clematis, which is the small purple one, which blooms in abundance, but we never had it bloom as much as we've had this year. Here's one of them.
So all this was all blue.
Yeah, or purple.
Or blue or purple early in the summer.
And actually the other one, the Clematis, the Alp Clematis we have on the other side, on the other porch, bloomed twice this year.
Yeah, they are actually blooming now.
Oh, we'll have to go look at that as well.
I need your scissor, Carlos, because this is the Achilleia. Columbines, and they are spreading all over. So normally we cut off these seeds and put them in another place in the garden because we have so many of them. But it's interesting to see next year when they spread, because they always come up with some new colors. Yeah. So, but I take this now and bring them to the other garden, to the compost.
Throw them out, and then they really love, they're travelers. Columbines are travelers. We plant them in one place, and then a couple of years later we find them in another place. They also mix with each other. So we had a lot of white columbines and a lot of purple columbines, and suddenly we had pink ones in our garden, and they came in places where we hadn't planted them. So obviously they travel and they crossbreed.
Yeah. We also got this dark brown, almost like burgundy, with white stripes on the outside.
Yeah, very nice.
But they are finished now, so we can't show them, but they are very nice.
So this is early fall. The garden is still blooming. You know, here and there we've got little pink blooms and little purple blooms. The last of the roses are still in bloom.
Yeah. And this year we had something happened with the bamboo. We have had this little bamboo for many, many years and nothing happened. But look at it, this year is grown a lot compared to what it was before.
It's a little scary because bamboo is not supposed to thrive in this climate. We are high up in the Norwegian mountains where the winters are long and quite harsh. So it is very surprising to have a bamboo that has been there for, what, 4 or 5 years? It was actually a gift. It was given to us by a nursery. And we said we couldn't accept that gift because it was going to die. And then they said, well, why don't you try it and see what happens? And yeah.
I think we had it for almost 15 years or something.
No, this is like 4 or 5 years.
No, this is old. It was down there in the beginning, before we got the veranda, on the guest house.
No, that one died. This is a new one.
No.
Oh, okay, well, I guess my memory, I'm still, I guess, suffering a little bit from long COVID.
I know these things.
Yeah.
I have scrapbooks for it.
Okay, oh yeah, you do, yeah. Anyway, there's no denying that it shouldn't be here, and it is thriving. And even if it is beautiful and we love it, it is a little scary to think about the reasons why.
Because this one grows, and the Mecanopsis, the blue poppies, they had like 5 flowers this year, and they were tiny. Maybe it's us that didn't water enough, or I don't know.
Something's happening with climate.
Yeah. This is the breakfast place, if the sun is up.
Yeah, this is where we have breakfast every morning in summer. We dress it with cushions. And yeah, if you can imagine me sitting here with my pajamas, wearing my pajamas, having my you know, whatever, porridge, eggs and bacon, and relaxing with a cup of tea.
What did they call it? You gardening in your pajamas?
I'm a pajamas gardener.
Pajamas gardener.
But only in summer, obviously. It's already now cooling down enough that I can't walk around in my pajamas in the garden in the morning. But yeah, that's something I really love doing. I love walking in the garden, exploring it in the summer months, wearing a pajamas. Pajamas gardener.
Pajamas gardener. Take this one.
This one's fantastic. This one dies in the fall, and we can actually just cut it down completely. And then in the spring, there's nothing here, and it goes from nothing to this in just a few months. It's amazing. I love the floral. The bloom is white, very, very nice white. And now as we get closer to winter, it goes into this, I don't know, reddish kind of shade. And it's just lovely. Yeah. It's really one of my favorite perennials in the garden.
But it's getting so big, so I was thinking maybe next spring we should take some of the plants and put them outside the kitchen garden. It could be nice as a fence around the kitchen garden.
So you got lots of ferns as well that have moved into the garden, and they're considered weeds, but we love them, so we allow them to stay here. As we think they're lovely. There's a lot of there's a lot of ferns in our stone garden that we will show you in a bit.
This is lupines that we got from Sissinghurst in Kent many, many years ago. You can't grow these anymore, you can't put seeds.
You can't plant them anymore.
You can't plant them anymore because they spread like crazy, but these have been there for so many years, so we will keep them.
We're allowed.
Because they have a red color that you can't see a lot of. Yeah. And they're from Sissinghurst.
So here's our Alp Clematis. I cut it down before, or I cut it down after it bloomed. And look, it's blooming again. So in case you're wondering what the Alp Clematis looks like, it's actually very small flowers. This second bloom is not in abundance. Obviously, it's usually only blooms once here, but if you can imagine how many blooms, if you can look over at the other clematis on the other side, you can see how many blooms there were. So this was literally purple, the clematis in June. And this one has gone through a lot with us. This is one of the plants that we planted quite quickly after we moved in here. And it has survived, I don't know how many things. Remember, Arne, in 2005, we came back from a holiday in Greece, and we had some people coming to see the garden, and literally the entire plant was disintegrating. And we were looking at it, and it was like, what is going on? The leaves were just disappearing, and when we went to see, closely, there were all these bugs, or I don't remember if they were maggots.
You could almost hear them eat.
Yeah, you could almost hear them eat the whole thing.
Yeah. So that
and
was...
They ate it, and we had to cut it down. And then next year, it came back without the bugs, and it's thriving. Then a couple of years later, we built this porch. That is really messy right now, so we don't want to show you. But we built this porch, and we had to move it. So we had to cut it down again, and we had to move it. And the year after, it came up like this. And then every 3 years, it becomes so big that we just cut it down all the way and just let it come up again. And say we cut it in the middle of May, by beginning of June, already it'll have grown at least 1.5 meters. So this is really one of those plants that can survive anything.
Wasn't this the one that the mice were cutting one year also?
Yeah.
They chopped everything.
Yeah.
And then it came out bigger.
Yeah, so my theory is that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and this Clematis here is proof of that. We haven't actually given her a name.
No, this one. She should have a name.
She should have a name.
And look, this is the... Actually, there's a few left of the lupine from Sissinghurst. Yeah. They're beautiful. I think it's a pity you can't grow them anymore or buy them and put them in the soil, because they are beautiful in the garden. It's really nice.
Okay, let's go to the stone garden and see what's going on there. And on the way to the stone garden, see, there's still blooms in our garden. We're very lucky we're high up in the mountains, so even if it is late for blooms, because of the fact that we have this special climate, we still do have quite some blooms here in the garden.
These come late and they stay long.
Yeah. So yeah, this is our other deck. We've spruced it up with some cushions this year because we felt it was too beige. And as you all know, we love color. So, and we've had a lot of pots on this deck, loads of pots, but watering them and keeping them pristine is quite a challenge and quite a big job. And then Arne went to this store where he found those those lamps, and they're really cool. They look like little mushrooms, and at night they actually light up. They run on solar energy. Obviously, we haven't had any joy out of them in May, June, and July because it doesn't get dark here. So they haven't started glowing until August. But since August, we do spend a lot of time up, either in that window, which is our sitting room, or those two windows that you see there, the little ones. They are part of our bathroom. And yeah, they do provide hours and hours of entertainment. So maybe later on you'll see them glow in the dark. They really are cool. Are you with me, Arne?
I'm coming. I just had to pick up my scrapbook because
yeah, I was telling them
my garden notes in books like this. I said to Carlos this morning, maybe we should have one book for the garden, because I have to look through a lot of books to find the notes. Mm-hmm. Let's make a garden book.
Let's do that. And I was telling everybody about the little...
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, and those are your favorite, aren't they?
I love them. They look like those mushrooms.
Yeah, they do.
Did you say, like this year we didn't have a lot of pots with plants because they die in front of you? This is
well, I tried to put it a little bit more delicately. I said that we spend a lot of time caring for them. But look, we've got Columbines here.
These are actually called...
Dove.
White dove. And we found these in Chelsea Flower Show.
In 2010.
Yeah, and they're also down there still blooming. And these also mix with the other ones, so there are always new interesting Columbines popping up.
Yeah. So we've got little, you know, I mean, the garden is a work in process, and now we do have a lot of work to do. So that's why you see our tools over there. But I want to show you the ferns.
Yeah, but this Carl first, there's no bloom, there's not blooming, but this is geranium that is wild, and it has white flowers, and it's not protected, but it's very rare, and we managed to put one in the garden, and this one is getting more and more beautiful now, because we collect geraniums.
We do, yes.
Do the ferns.
Yeah, I just want to show you these, because I love them so much. And these just popped up here out of nowhere one day. And they just keep growing and growing, and I think they are beautiful. There's a lot of shade in this part of the garden because this is north over there, and because of the house there is shade here, and it's thriving and it is so beautiful. I really love this fern.
And this year I found the hosta. I forgot about it because this bush was covering all of it, so suddenly it came out really nice. So we could have more hostas on this side.
Yeah. In a couple of weeks, this is going to be looking like it's on fire. It's going to be red and very beautiful. So we look forward to that.
See, this one gets color now.
Mm-hmm. And I love the pink one over here. That little pink thing is really cute and beautiful. And I bring that in as well. I cut these and I put them in vases as well, as I think they look really, really beautiful.
They're nice. And we also have roses here. They're like the Canadian roses. And they also froze back this spring because it was so warm in April. So we had to cut them, but they came. That one is huge now. So it's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Should I go that way?
Yep. These are nice.
Yeah.
The insects really love these ones.
Yeah, these are perfect for insects. These thistles are really nice.
Sometimes they're covered with bees.
Yeah. And if you turn around and look right over there, you can see one of the little lamps that glow from solar energy. So Arne loves putting those everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't you?
I like them. I think they're cool. We should have more of them in this garden as well.
Yeah.
And you know, in the evening when you look down from the bathroom, it looks a little bit spooky.
It does.
Because you see the shadows from the plant, like in front of that white ball. And this was a big, big rose. It also froze back in the spring.
Yeah.
So we had to cut it, but it's coming. It's coming back.
This year we had a really big issue in April. Suddenly we had temperatures of around 30 degrees Celsius, which is around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, in April, which is very unusual. And then that was followed by frosts.
Yeah.
So a lot of the plants here, they got tricked into thinking that it was spring, and then they started to, you know, do their stuff, and then the frost killed them. So,
everything that was above the snow.
So it's not been one of the best years for our garden, I have to say, but it's nature, and you can't really control nature,
it's
even
a living
if you want
thing.
to.
You
it's
have
a
to
living thing.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
And we have this over here. We have one of the bushes that didn't made it. So this one actually, this was like a wall. It was, we cut them, so it's like, we have another one behind here. So you feel like you're in a room when you walk through. So when you pass by, there's a new experience.
Mm.
But it froze back, but they are all fresh and new now, so it's coming.
Yeah.
For the birds, gift from my sister. And we also work more on this bed made of this what you call it? Stone, or
yeah, it's sort of kind of a.
It's like it's for the roof.
Yeah, in Norwegian traditional houses, it's for roofing, and we've had them in our house as well.
I think this is typical from this area, but they are old, so they break, and we're changing roofs, so we use them as almost like a flower pot. And another hosta, I think this one will like it up here. You have to see what happens.
And then the insects can hide inside there, and so, you know, we're saving insects, one insect at a time. So yeah, this is beautiful. I don't know the name in English, but I'm gonna look it because I've got my phone.
I think it's something like, it's a Rowan in Norwegian, and this is the white one. And I read in books that this one is really good in the garden, and it should be like in front of the house, but it keeps the bad spirits or something away.
Yeah, it says roe, but roe is the caviar from the, because that's also another meaning for rogn in English.
I don't remember. I knew the name once.
Hang on, but I am looking for it.
But this one has white berries.
Rowan.
Rowan. Oh, like the yarn.
Like the yarn, yeah. These are rowan berries.
The white one.
Yeah, the white rowan berries. We also have the red ones.
We have the wild one, the one with reds.
Yeah.
There's one over there, and there's one next to the
And what is it they say about the berries? If you have a lot of them, how will the winter be?
Oh, they say the rowan won't bend 2 times in a year. So if it if it bend by berries, it won't bend by snow.
Oh, okay. So if the weight of the berries bend the tree,
It will happen one time
only in a year.
So now you see this is bending because of the berries. So maybe we will have a little snow again this
Maybe.
winter.
I hope not, though.
We can remember it and see what happens.
Because that was the issue. Too little snow, and then those hot days in April, then the frost, everything died. Yeah.
So this is the wall. We have to cut this, Carlos.
Yeah.
So we are trimming the wall. So this is one of the walls where you can disappear in the garden and you come around the corner and there's a new view. And, new.
Yeah.
So, and we have a flower bed over here, which we are going to work on. That's why I brought my book. Because this is actually not good right now. So I made some notes so we can remember in this one. We are going to cut this one and that one all the way down in the spring. We don't do it now in case it freezes, but in the spring this will be cut back. Then this one is so big, so this we will move to the wall.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of seedlings here. So we have to take them up and put them in pots. And maybe we can open a flower shop.
Maybe we can do that, yeah.
Nursery.
That would be fun.
And there are some geraniums here, so I
You keep track of them.
keep track of the geraniums because we collect geraniums. So these two are now in this bed, so we just have to save them so they don't disappear. And there's another one in the middle here which was big and it's almost died out, so this we will move the rest. And there's another geranium on that side.
Yeah.
And there's this one, which I don't know what this is, but this one had yellow flowers and it needed a lot of water and it didn't bloom this year. And when we bought that one, this one came with it. So we have to take this apart. And another geranium.
Yep.
So next year this will change.
So, I guess
that's it.
this is the tour of our garden 2022.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed us here. We are going to be working on getting the garden ready for winter. And hopefully, fingers crossed, a lot of snow will cover and protect our plants. We've got a field of flowers to take care of because we want it to keep blooming.
It has to dry so we get the seeds back into the ground.
So we have that to do on our list. We haven't showed you our kitchen garden yet. That's going to be another video. So you've got a tour of our kitchen garden coming up. Now, that has been a little bit of an experiment, and we are kind of taking notes of everything we've done wrong so that we can correct it for next year.
Yep.
And I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. Arne, would you like to do some formalities?
Yeah, if you like our episode or videos, put your thumbs up and be a subscriber, because then you won't miss episode if you put on your notifications.
Yeah, and
was that everything?
Yeah, give it a thumbs up if you like the episode. Comment and interact with us because that really helps us.
And put yourself on the mailing list because then you won't miss anything.
Yeah, and we've got great patterns at arnecarlos.com. I don't know, maybe by the time you are watching this, these sweaters, the sweater design for the cozy sweater is already there. If not, don't despair, it's coming very, very soon, so it'll be there soon.
Yeah. And this is made in Norwegian wool from Rowan, and this is made in
Alpaca Classic.
Alpaca Classic.
Our really cozy, oversized sweaters.
And we want one in every color. Okay?
We want one in every color.
You want one in every color?
I want one in every color.
There's a lot of knitting with this one.
Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.